Baylor coach.
That's hard to do.
Hey, you kept your streak alive. That's the most important thing.
No, I missed on BYU.
Scott Drew is in the building. Scott Drew, congrats on the win, man.
Man, I appreciate it. So here's my question. I'm looking at your guys' setup. You got Blue Moon. Is Jeff sponsored by Blue Moon?
We need to get that done. You got any connections with Blue Moon?
Hey, all I know is
we got Dad Water.
Hey, we sit here grinding and sweating, and you guys are chopping it up, having a great time. I love it. I love it.
Scott, this is Dad Water, our sponsor, and it's really good stuff. They got each flavor is a different name. So grapefruit is Dad Water Steve. I'm going to send you some Dad Water after the season. How did that one feel, Scott? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, first of all, in March, all of them feel good. Anytime you win, it's a great game in March. So that's first and foremost. Second of all, we knew it was going to be a hard-fought game. I mean, Coach Jan's a great coach. Mississippi State, Josh Hubbard is the real deal. So I'm just proud that we were able to find a way to finish it off, because when we were up 11 there, it should have been a little easier.
Sweating it out there at the end a little bit. Your team this year probably, didn't do what you were hoping you would do going into the year. Certainly, you had your issues injury-wise and whatnot throughout the season. Do you feel like now you're at least healthier than you've been for a lot of the season, and you're feeling better about this team going in? I know you got a tough one coming up here tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first and foremost, you look at it. Injuries are part of the game. As a coach, you're just hoping that you don't have long-term injuries. And with us, we never even had a chance to have our 8 guys that we planned to be in our rotation and lean heavily on. We never even had them where they were all healthy and practicing and playing together to even see how it would work. So, again, I think we were ranked pretty high in the preseason because of that. We wouldn't have been ranked as high as if we were going to have 1 or 2 of those guys out the whole time. So disappointing we never had a chance to do that. We finally got everybody back healthy. Josh plays for 5 minutes, tears his ACL against Central Florida, and then we're down to 7. And Marino and Jason Asamoto have given us minutes, but we leaned heavily on those 7 and with Josh, those 8. We'd have loved to just seen how it worked. At the same time, I think our guys deserve a lot of credit, because it's hard playing games in the Big 12 or any major conference with 6, 7 guys playing the majority of the minutes. It's hard being up every game and dealing with the physicality and the travel and whatnot. And for us, we've been healthy the last couple of weeks besides Langston, so we've got some rhythm, some chemistry. And as you know, college basketball, there's a ton of parity. There's a couple teams that have been better than the rest of us. But other than that, you got a lot of 1-2 possession games, and teams are capable of beating anybody. And I just found this out. Us, Duke, and Gonzaga are the only teams to win a game in the tournament the last 6 years. That just tells you how hard it is to do, because there's a lot of great coaches and teams and programs.
Hey, Scott, can you talk to me about coaching a guy like VJ Edgecombe, who is just as athletic and explosive a player as you'll see in college basketball? He got off to a really slow start, but, he obviously steps up to the free throw line and makes the free throws, but also the presence of mind to make sure he's not crossing over half court there late in the game. Just what's it like coaching a talent like him?
Well, I think first and foremost, whenever you have a guy that's projected a top 5 draft pick, a lot of people base their value on points and scoring. And the great thing, I think Cooper and VJ are very similar in one area, and that is both of them affected on the defensive end. They affected with assists, steals, rebounds. They don't have to score to affect the game. I mean, VJ, when we say he started out slow defensively, he did a great job. On the glass, he did a great job. He just didn't score early on, but he's always affecting the game. And as far as a coach goes, what you love about him is players that live and die by their points and their shot falling. What happens when it doesn't? And what do they give you? And VJ's all about winning. So if anything, you got to urge him to be more aggressive. And he's done a tremendous job all year. I love it because you go to practice, and a lot of times you got to watch Sports Center Top 10 just see highlights. I get to see him every day, so it's a pretty good deal. And a lot of people compare him Dwayne Wade and Russell Westbrook, and definitely he has that athleticism. But you look at what Russell did his first year in college and compare him and VJ and D Wade. I mean, when did he come out? Was it his sophomore year, junior year?
Third year.
Yeah, so I mean, those guys were
prop for you.
Yeah.
Prop, whatever.
Yeah.
What's up, Coach? Being a kid from Indiana like myself, like when I was growing up, you always kind of hear of like, just not only the players from the state, but the coaches. So like your family, with you and, kind of like the Valpo roots and everything. Just kind of talk about like kind of how being from Indiana, do you think it's like really helped you, in your coaching career? And, you see guys like now Dusty May coming up. So just kind of talk about like what the state of Indiana has meant to you and just kind of like, the roots there and, how it kind of, gave you the foundation for basketball.
Scott, this is Brooks Barnheiser from Northwestern. I don't know if you know that. He grew up in Indiana. Really good player.
Oh, I was gonna ask him if he had a COVID year.
Hey, we'll see. Hey, I like it. Hey,
we'll see. Coach.
Hey, let's just do what we do, right? This is the world of college athletics, man.
but hey, that's a great question, and I can tell you, growing up in Indiana, I mean, you know what basketball means to the state. I mean, the movie Hoosiers is real. And I think my brother's class was one of the last, if not the last class to play in a state championship without the divisions. And I think there was 28,000 there for that. But just the importance, the fundamentals, and just everything that goes into winning. I think that's a big advantage. Very similar if you grow up in part of the country where it's soccer and you want to be a soccer coach, or football and where it's football, baseball, same thing. I mean, you just appreciate good basketball played the right way. I was blessed to learn from a Hall of Fame coach. My dad and my brother helped make us all that. And but at the same time, growing up in Indiana really helped to learn and study the game.
Hey, Scott, believe it or not, Robbie Hummel says that Hoosiers is overrated. Can you believe that?
Well, Robbie's gotten soft in his older age, hadn't he? Back in the day, I think probably Robbie watched it about 10 times a day before a game. So let's be real.
I know, like he should have been in Hoosiers, right? You look at Robbie Hummel and you're like, that dude should have been in Hoosiers, no doubt about it. Well, listen, we appreciate you jumping on as always. The only downside, if you make a Final Four run, are you still in for pickleball? Are you still in?
Hey, I honor my commitments. We'll find the time to get that in between the prep and everything. But hey, I want to thank you guys because what you do during March Madness is really cool and helps with the sport and bringing awareness. So thank you guys.
Thanks, Scott. Congrats, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you,
Scott
guys.
Drew, one of the best. What?